Hey guys, this is Mike from Eldorado Guitars, and I just want to talk to you today about how to make your Grace clean. A lot of people have seen my videos and left comments saying things like, I can't get my Grace that clean, or when I say it has Fender-like clean, some people have been like, I can't get any clean tones out of this. Some people have even accused me of using volume pedals or other tricks to make this happen. There's no tricks. There's no tricks. It's just amp, guitar into amp. Technically, it is going through this white light, but I don't have it on. Then I can even take it out of the circuit. It doesn't have any impact on it. But the way to do this is the Grace is really sensitive. It's a really, really, really sensitive amp. It doesn't work like an old Marshall or a Mesa Boogie or something like that. It's very, very, very sensitive. Small changes to your volume and tone controls will yield very large changes on the amp. Okay, and to show you this, I have all the EQ on the amp set at noon, right? There's no tricks. I do have the bright switch on, but other than that, there's no like other EQ, nothing. You don't need to do anything special. There's three things I think you really need to do in order to get your Grace to get a great clean tone like I just had. The first is watch the gain control on the front, okay? So this amp has so much gain. You really don't need to set it that high. I'm kind of mystified by some people. I've seen demos of this where people are setting the gain 50, 60, 70%. I don't know what they're doing with all that gain. This is at, right now I've got this thing at about like 9:30, maybe 10 o'clock, and it has plenty of gain. Just to show you, right now my bridge volume is on 7, okay? It's on 7. So I'm gonna flip to the bridge pickup right now just to show you how much gain is at 9:30, okay? So you've got plenty of gain here at 7 on the volume control. Right? And if I turn it up to 10, so plenty of gain. Okay, so number one is keep your gain control conservative, right? Set it at about like 9, 10, maybe even 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock max, right? You'll have plenty of gain when you crank up the volume, but then it's gonna clean up a little bit better when you bring it down. Second thing is the headroom control. Headroom control is on the back of the amp. The higher you turn the headroom control, the longer the amp will stay clean before it breaks up. The more you bring it down, the quicker it will break up. So it just depends on what kind of sound you're going for. Honestly, I usually run the headroom on this a lot lower, but if I'm trying to do a better balance of clean, like if I want like a really, really sparkly clean, like I said, I will turn that headroom up. So right now it's at about 2 o'clock, okay? Headroom's about 2 o'clock, so it's pretty high. I usually run it more at like 9 o'clock, just for your perspective, because I like that kind of like wild, less headroom, sound, generally speaking. But if you want a really good clean tone, you should turn it up to around like 2 o'clock or so, right? Okay. And then the third thing is your volume control. The Grace, like I said before, is very sensitive to your volume control. Very, very sensitive. The amp will morph and change as you make adjustments to your volume control. And you can watch my other video on how to do that. But what I recommend is if you want a really good clean tone, switch to the neck pickup, right? And then bring your volume up just until it kind of cracks open, right? So like, let me show you what I mean. So. There you go, right? So keep your volume control very low. Now, I think guitar players are somewhat hesitant to do this, right? To leave their volume down for a longer period of time. Because I think they perceive that like they're getting less out of the amp, or like that it's gonna be quieter or something. The Grace is pretty compressed. So like, let me show you what I mean, right? That's a clean tone, right? So just with the volume on minimal, right? But when I'll switch to the bridge pickup and I'll put my bridge volume at like 5, so we're gonna get some gain here. And I just want you to hear the volume balance. The volume balance is not that bad, right? Like here's the clean. So that's it, right? I mean, that's all you got to do. Set your neck pickup pretty conservatively, and then use this. So basically, your guitar's pickup selector kind of becomes your channel changing button, right? So like your neck pickup now has all your cleans. And if you want it a little bit dirtier, all you have to do is just bring it up a little bit. A little bit more like edge of breakup, right? Like if you want to do something like edge of breakup-y, right? But if I want to get cleaner, all I gotta do is just bring it back down a notch. That's it. It's a very, very sensitive amp. If you're the kind of player like me that grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s with all the channel switching amps, this is going to be a little foreign to you, right? Because when we've got like a 3-channel Mesa Boogie old dual rectifier or something from the 2000s, the way you ran it was you kind of like had one for your clean, one channel for your clean, one for your crunch, and one for your lead, and then you pretty much left your volume at 10 most of the time, and you just used your foot switch, right, to switch between sounds. But obviously on a single channel amp, you can't do that. So you've got to be really good at working your volume and tone controls with the Grace. But you can get this to have beautiful cleans. I mean, So very, very easy. Now, I know some of you might be saying, okay, Mike, well, you're using this Trini Lopez, like what pickups are in this? Are they really low output? So just for your awareness, this is a Lollar Imperial F-Space, which is actually the hottest pickup that Lollar makes in the bridge, before you get into like the Eldorados and the weird ones, right? This is like the hottest PAF they make. I think it's like 11K or something. And then this is a regular Imperial in the neck, right? So kind of PAF values. Now you might be saying, all right, Mike, but what if I have a hotter guitar, right? What if I don't have something that's this, what if I don't have something that's this low output? Great, so I have brought a really high output guitar with me. So this is my 1994 Les Paul Classic Premium Plus, and I have replaced the electronics with Tom Anderson pickups. So it says a Tom Anderson H3 in the bridge and an H1 in the neck. And I've replaced the electronics in this as well with a RS Guitar Works harness. And so this is a very aggressive guitar. And let's take a look and see what we can do here with this guitar. Oh, it would help if I'm on the right pickup selector. You can hear it's a lot darker. It's because it's a higher output guitar. It's a lot darker. works, right? Same technique. I've touched nothing on the amp, no EQ on the amp, no anything, and still get a really nice clean tone, right? I mean, you know. And then, of course, the beauty of having a single channel that's set up like this is that, you know, if I put the volume up to 10, which is what's on right now, you can go all the way from this clean to this distortion. So you get the point, right? I won't belabor the point, but right, there's no tricks, there's no anything. Just you've got to know the Grace is a very sensitive amp, right? It's not like a lot of other amps that you've played, right? So play around with your volume and tone controls, try those suggestions, and see if you can get better clean tones out of your Grace. You can get really good edge of breakup tones this way too, and like blues tones. Like for example, one more thing I'll show you, right? If I up the volume a little bit, right? It's maybe like. That song goes. Something like that. Sorry, I haven't played that in a long time. So yeah, as you can see, it's a really, really, really flexible amp. So play around with it. That's how you can get a lot of great lower gain tones. Watch your gain control. Use the bright switch if necessary. The output of your guitar really doesn't matter all that much, right? Use your volume and tone controls correctly and use the headroom control on the back of the amp. All right, have a great rest of your day, guys. Take it easy.